Hello everyone, I am Matsla here and today I will be playing the role of chairperson for our meeting today.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatirika Fatmanibitri Awang. My metric number is S50113 and I am as a secretary.
Hello guys, my name is James, or normally people will call me my real name, which is Fong Juanwei, and my matrix number is S51853, and I'm responsible for the parts of the matter arising as well as other discussion parts too.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nuraisah binti Muhammad Ramli. My metric number is S51422 and I'm responsible for discussing idea part.
Hi, my name is Shafika Nazira binti Shari. My metric number is S52085. I'm responsible for the further discussion on new matters in this mock meeting.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Namraza Zika binti Rahman and my matrix number is S50798.
Well, good afternoon everyone. Oh, seriously? I'm the first one to arrive at the meeting room? Well, there is a first time for everything, as well as this time too. So yeah, so since the other committee member haven't arrived yet, so I better have a look on my YouTube video first. If not, definitely got no time to to watch the video until the working hour was end.
A few moments later.
Well, hello there, Mr. James. I think this was my first time to see that you arrived at the meeting room so quickly after the tea time. Normally, I think that you always arrive late, even later than the chairperson and the secretary. It's actually quite surprising to see you arrive this quickly.
Come on, Miss Mirza. As the saying goes, don't judge the book by its cover, you know, right? And I admit that most of the time I would arrive late at the meeting room, but that situation was before. Currently, I've changed my attitude so that I won't be blamed by the chairperson and the other committee member was about being late to the meeting room, you know.
Well, that's true. I believe that Mr. James can change his attitude because not all persons are born lazy. Their attitude and behavior can be affected by us, so we have set a good example for Mr. James.
Oh, hello, Miss Nazira. All right, I believe in you for temporarily. Let's see whether Mr. James will repeat his bad behavior again in the next meeting. Who knows?
Afternoon, guys. How are you all? I hope you all are good. Have you heard about the reported cases of COVID-19 for the past week? I heard that the transmission rate of the cases are so fast and thousands of cases are reported each day. It's scary, right? I can't believe myself for saying this, but I kind of missing the lifestyle before the COVID-19 hit us. Before, we can go out, hang out with our friends, our families, whenever and wherever we want. But now, there's a lot of rules and SOP we need to follow whenever we go outside. Don't you guys think it's kind of annoying?
Well, Miss Aisha, I believe that we don't have the choice, but we need to abide by all the SOPs and also all the regulations too, in order to reduce greatly the transmission rate of the COVID-19 virus. And I believe that if we continue do this, soon we will get back to our normal lifestyle as before.
I agree with you.
Afternoon, guys. How was your weekend? Do you guys have a great time on your weekend?
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Okay, since everyone was here, we can initialize our meeting right now. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for all of the members that are willing to lend your time with me in today's meeting. And we are honored to have Ms. Akemi Miyazaki, the representative of First Asia International e-Jamboree 2020, and also Mr. Bai Risky from the advertising department. Unfortunately, one of our members, which is Ms. Sally Anna, she can't join us this afternoon because she has an urgent meeting to attend for. Right. Next, the purpose of our meeting for this afternoon is to discuss about the commandments of the Second Asia International e-Jamboree 2021. For your information, I'm happy to announce that our first International e-Jamboree event has received more than 20,000 participants, especially young children from other Asian countries. Despite the current situation of our country, the Malaysia government are hoping to conduct the second Asia International e-Jamboree 2021 and we are the selected host to lead the whole event online. Okay, now let's get into our discussion, shall we? But before that, let us go through the minutes of the last meeting. So, Ms. Fatin, can you carry on, please?
Thank you, Ms. Chairman. So here is the reading of the minutes from last meeting on December 15, 2020, second meeting of the Second Asia International e-Jamboree 2021 was called to order at 2:30 p.m. Following the opening speech, the reading of the minutes from the first meeting were read and approved. Mrs. Laila Nathan reported that she had found a suitable premise in Ms. Machumala to set up the temporary headquarters for the Asia International e-Jamboree. Negotiation on the list was still going on. Mr. Ng inquired on the sponsorship of the event to supplement the grant of $25,000 given by the Asia Child Organization. Dr. Sandeep reassured the committee that the newly appointed sponsorship committee led by Mr. Nguyen would report on the development by the next meeting. While the aim of the first Asia International e-Jamboree was to keep the children entertained during the COVID-19 lockdown, the current committee proposed the new aim of the second e-Jamboree 2021, which was labeled as to give yearly international exposure for the greater Asian unity. The proposal was unanimously accepted. The committee proposed three themes to be considered for the event as follows. First, science and mathematics. Second, language. And third, art. Mr. Ikram moved that the theme be given child-friendly phrases to imply fun, yet educational event of the second e-Jamboree. It was agreed in principle and the new improved phrases shall be tabled in the next meeting by the personnel in charge of each of the teams. Ms. De Silva raised the issue of minimum age requirement to participate in the event as many countries requested for children as young as 5 years old to be allowed to join as participants. However, it was agreed that the age limit stands at 7 to 15 years old until further development from the Asia Child Organization. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 4:30 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Fatin, for delivering the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any mistakes to be amended in the minutes? Kindly voice out now.
Excuse me, Miss Chairperson. Sorry to interrupt again. I believe that there is an error that spotted on the e-Jamboree phrase and also the word grant. Alright, for the e-Jamboree phrase, I believe that the correct spelling of it should be e-Jamboree with an uppercase E and also J. As for the word grant, the correct spelling of it should be Grant, grant, with a lowercase g. Oh yeah, there's one more mistake that I spotted on the name De Silva. I believe that the correct spelling of it should be De Silva with an additional A behind the V. Yeah, I believe that that's all the error that I can spot on the minutes.
Thank you for correcting it, Mr. James. Ms. Fatin, please take note of the errors too. Any other mistakes to be corrected in the minutes?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. On item 4, there's a slight mistake on the phrase e-Jamboree, which is the correct way to mention it was e-Jamboree with a hyphen between E and Jamboree, as well as the E and J should be in an uppercase letter. Furthermore, the COVID-19 phrase have a slight mistake also in its spelling, and it should be spelled COVID instead of COVED, as well as the spelling of mathematics. It should be spelled as mathematics.
Wow, you have a very detailed citing on errors, Ms. Nazira. Ms. Fatin, take note on the errors here. Is there anything else to be amended in the minutes?
No.
Alright, can someone propose the minutes of the second meetings to be accepted?
I propose the minutes of the second meetings to be accepted.
I second the motion of the past minutes to be accepted.
Okay, I hereby confirm that the minutes of the second meetings with a few amendments to be accepted. Now let's proceed to the second item on the agenda, which is related to the progress of finding the suitable premise for our upcoming event. Mr. James, would you brief on this matter, please?
No problem, Miss Chairperson. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the last meeting, we had discussed that for the upcoming second Asia International e-Jamboree, due to the current COVID-19 situation in our country, so the Malaysia government had decided to move the whole event on the online platform, and for this upcoming event we need a temporary headquarters or premise that can be set as headquarters so that the participants can reach us and inquire more information from us easily. So I have approached Wisma Cemerlang and as I agreed before, and fortunately they are willing to willing to rent a premise for us so that we can make it as our temporary headquarters. And the negotiation on rules was still ongoing because they did impose some conditions, and if we want to use their premise, and the condition they impose are as below. So the first condition is the operating hours of the premise should be in between 8:30 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. The second condition is the surrounding of the premise must be kept clean always, or else penalties will be given. The third condition is social distancing for at least 1 meter is crucial so that we can reduce the transmission rate of the COVID-19 virus effectively. And the last condition is before the visitors enter the premise, all of the visitors should have their personal information recorded either manually or by using apps such as My Sejahtera apps, and also their temperature must be taken before they enter the premise. And those are the conditions that we need to agree if Wisma Cemerlang wants to lend their premise to us. And I end my briefing on this part with a thank you.
I'm totally agree with what did Mr. James mentioned about the conditions imposed by Wisma Cemerlang, since the current situation of the COVID-19 pandemic has reached critical level. So precautions such as social distancing, always keep your hygiene as priority, record entries using the app, the My Sejahtera app when entering a premise so that we can help to tackle the rate of transmission of virus to the minimum level. Next, since the premise that Wisma Cemerlang offer us is quite close to our company, so it is easier for us to handle our upcoming program. Alright, Mr. James, would you inform Wisma Cemerlang that we agree with their conditions? And Ms. Fatin helped me to arrange a meeting with them in the shortest time possible. Right, let's proceed with the next matter, which is regarding the sponsorship for our upcoming event. Ms. Mirza, would you like to brief us regarding the development of the acquisition of the sponsorship of our upcoming event?
Sure, Mr. Person. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, me and my team have approached Asia Child Organization and we have proposed the idea of having them becoming the main sponsors for our upcoming event, and as a result, they are willing to sponsor us 20,000 US dollars for our upcoming event, and we can use this sponsorship, and they are hoping to meet with us for further discussion on other related matters regarding these issues. So that's all from me about this issue, Miss Chairperson. I'm sorry.
That's a great news you bring us to us, Mirza, with the sponsorship of the USD $25,000 from Asia Chart Organization. We can significantly reduce the allocated budget for the grand prize, and this extra budget can be saved for the future usage in any upcoming event later.
I agree with you on this, Miss Chairperson. The extra budget that are originally allocated for this event can be used in the upcoming event, and maybe if we are lucky enough, we will be appointed as the main host for the next Asia International e event. By that time, we can use this budget specifically for that event, or else we can use this budget for other purpose.
You got the point there, Miss Fatin. Alright, let's proceed to the discussion regarding the content of the second Asia International e-Jamboree 2021. I would like to give the floor to Miss Nazira to brief us further on this upcoming event. Miss Nazira?
Well, no problem, Mr. Chairperson. Basically, the commencement of the first Asia International e-Jamboree was a big success, and many participants, as well as their families or relatives, have provided critiques on every aspect of the event. Furthermore, the reason why the government want us to organize this event was to keep the children occupied with lots of activities during the COVID-19 lockdowns. So I propose that we should we should set up a new aim that match the upcoming event, which is to give early international exposure for a greater Asia unity, so that our upcoming event will receive same response from the participant, just like last year.
I agree with Miss Nazira on this point because the reason why Miss Nazira proposed this aim for this activity is due to the reason that besides of this activity will keep the children occupied during the whole COVID-19 lockdown. And also, the main reason of this activity was organized is to promote unity amongst the children across the Asian country. Although the current event was carried out among the Asian countries such as Singapore, Indonesia, as well as Malaysia, but I believe that if the children can learn more about unity, it will help them more in the future. There will be lots of activities that will be carried out in this event, and maybe some of the activities will require the children to work together in order to perform the task perfectly. Furthermore, by participating in this event, children can make new friends regardless of the countries they're from, the religion, the races, and uh, this was the true purpose for this event to be organized.
You got the point there, Miss Mirza. The participant of this event was the future pillar of the country, and one of the most crucial qualities is cooperation and unity. Because if everyone can work together in order to achieve a better future, it is a good deed indeed. Okay, so let's go around the table, and anyone who disagree that the aim of the second Asia International e-Jamboree 2021 was as mentioned by Ms. Nazira. Kindly voice out now. I see there's no objection to the proposed item. Since there's no objections to the proposed aim of event, it is agreed that the aim for the second Asia International e-Jamboree is to give early international exposure for a greater Asian unity. Alright guys, now let's proceed to the next item on the agenda, which is the suggested theme for the activities that will be carried out. Based on the suggested themes given, Miss Aisha, would you give us an insight in the current issue, please?
No problem, Mrs. Chairperson. In the upcoming event, I have proposed three main themes during the whole event, whereas each team will have their own respective activities related to each specific theme. So before, during the last meeting, I have mentioned these three themes, which are first, science and mathematics, second, language, and lastly, art theme. Since our participants are mostly children from the age of 7 until 15, we all unanimously agreed before that we will use more children-friendly phrases so that it can bring a joy to the children and also for academic purposes. So, me and my team members have come up with these phrases to replace the old one. So, first of all, for the science and mathematics team, my team have my team proposed magic and language of number. We want to show that language is not only coming from the form of words. Next, for language, I suggest the power of mother tongue. Well, we all know how the language is, how language, every language is precious to their native speakers. So under this theme, I hope they all can show how beautiful their language is. Next, for art theme, I propose what was your talent? I really hope the participants that join this event can unleash their creativity, and I also wish this second Asia International in Jamboree will receive many participants, even more than the first one. I will end my briefing here with a thank you.
Wow, those phrases that you proposed are very interesting, Miss Aisha. I believe that the participant will feel anxious about what kinds of activity that they will be enrolled in.
Thank you for the compliments, Mr. Chairperson. For your information, me and my team members have spent several hours to create and proposing this children-friendly process for to replace the previous one.
I believe that you and your team's hard work will not be in vain, Miss Aisha. Alright, shall we propose the suggested new phases of the team to be accepted?
I propose that the suggested new phrases of the theme to be accepted.
I second the proposal of the suggested new phrases of the team to be accepted.
So it is agreed that the new suggested phrase of the team to be set as mentioned by Miss Aisha in her briefing just now. Okay, is there any matters to be discussed before our meetings ends on today?
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Person. I believe that there is still one matter we haven't discussed yet, which is the participating fees. the amount of price as well as the promotion for the upcoming event?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this matter. So what are your thoughts or opinions regarding these issues?
Oh yeah, in my opinion, for the participating fees, we should set at a range that everyone can afford to pay because due to the current situation, some of the families are struggling due to the high living costs, and this has caused so much problem for everyone, especially those families whose are less wealthier. So if we can set the participating fees at an affordable range, the children can join the activities that are organized by us, as well as reduce the financial stress of the families too. That's a win-win situation right here. I propose the range of the participating fees should be around 10 ringgit to 12 ringgit per person.
Well, for that, for the amount of the price, my idea was to hold on first until we confirm the actual number of participants for this upcoming event. Aside from the grand prize, we also can prepare consolation prize for all the participants, and this prize can serve as motivation for the children to keep on their efforts.
Yeah, I think for the promotion part, since mostly our country was in lockdown and the number of the people on the road was less than before, so I propose aside from our temporary premise, we can focus more on online promotion, such as posting brochure on the different social platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. Besides that, we can notify the family of the participants to take note on any new information that we will announce on different social platforms so that they will keep updated on the progress of our upcoming event.
That's some constructional ideas you guys provide. The rest of the committee, do you guys have any comment on the proposed idea just now?
Basically, there's no problem for at all, but I have a small problem regarding the participating fees part. So, as we all know, we are working in a private company, and the main objective of a private company is to generate maximum profit from any occurring event. So, just as mentioned by Ms. Fatin, the range of the participating fees should be set at an affordable range of 10 ringgit to 12 ringgit. But in my perspective of view, the price was considerably low, and if we always concern about the issues of families can't afford to pay for the participating fees and other reasons, so how should we generate maximum profit for the company? So I suggest that we altered the range of the participating fees from the original 10 ringgit to 12 ringgit per person to a new range of 20 ringgit to 25 ringgit per person.
I'm sorry, Mr. James, but I'm afraid I cannot accept your suggestion. As we know that the COVID-19 pandemic that struck hard on the economy of the country all around the world, including our country, right? So if we set the amount of the participating too high, I'm afraid that the number of participants were reduced significantly compared to last year, because as we all know that some of the families would probably not afford to pay for the sky high participating fees.
Look, Miss Nazira, I'm aware about your concern, but if we think from another perspective of view, the total budget allocated for this event may not be enough for us to sustain any additional fees that will be used in this event. The total sponsorship sponsored by the Asia Child Organization, the 20,000 US dollar, was for the purpose of the grand prize, which means that we don't have any extra fees or any extra budget that will be used as to handle any additional fees that we would probably use in this event. So I think that the only way to sustain such financial implication was to increase the participating fees of the upcoming event.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm sorry, Mr. James, but I am totally disagree with you. Why would you focus more on gaining profit instead of this enjoyable moment that the children will have, and the true purpose of this event was organized? You are so selfish, you know, right? Not everything can be measured by money, you know?
How dare you criticize me, Miss Mirza? Look, I didn't expect all of you to agree with me on this point of view, but all I've been doing right now was for the sake of our company. So can you guys look on the other way? If we always concerned about the problems that the family can't pay for the participating fees and blah 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 for all sorts of problem, then we should organize like a charity organization. Why would we still want to handle this program? Sooner or later, our company will face financial crisis, and on that time you guys will learn about the consequences.
Mr. Person, I propose this matter to be discussed on the next meeting.
Yes, I second the motion of this matter to be discussed in the next meeting.
Alright, that's enough for this issue on today. Please, both of you, calm down, calm down. Let's go around the table for any other business. Is there anything else to be discussed before the meetings end?
Yes, Mr. Person, I think we should have further preparations regarding the refund of the participation fees because on the previous Asia International Jamboree, there is some issues happen regarding the refund. In my opinion, if a participant asks for a refund, we should clearly state that each refund can only be made 1 week before the event starts. On the first Asia International Jamboree, the authorities did make a mistake of didn't notify the participant regarding this issue, and some of the families cannot tolerate such mistake. So if we notify them as early as possible, they can make decision earlier.
That's a good idea that you proposed, Miss Fatih. Anyone would like to disagree with the current proposed idea? Since there's no objection to it, it is agreed that such idea is to be accepted. Is there any other business before our meetings end? Okay, if not, let's bring this meeting to an end. And that's it for today. Thank you for your attendance and the participation in today's meeting. I declare the meeting closed.